Hello and welcome. Chris from Missouri here, bringing you another video about vintage baseball cards. In this video, I'm going to show you some cards. I'm going to show you some cards that I sent into SGC, and I'm going to tell you where they came from and kind of a follow-up video from my last video about where I'm going with my collection. But before I do that, I got a little care package sent to me all the way from Canada. Mike Canadian Cards knows that I'm working on the Mike Payne 300 Great Cards set, and he noticed that I didn't have one of the cards that we showed it's been a few videos ago, and he decided he was going to send me a card. Let me show you what this card looks like. So let me move this fake Mickey Mantle, and the card that Mike sent me was Eddie Waitkus. Now, he let in his note, he said, hey, leave it as a filler until you get one that's better. Unless he wants this card back, I'm getting this thing, even though there's writing on it and it's a little bit rough, but I now know where it came from. And whether I have a Eddie Waitkus in a 7 or an Eddie Waitkus in a 1 matters none to me. But I'm going to send this off to SGC and get it graded. This is one of the 300 great cards that I don't have. And I really, really appreciate that from Mike. And I'm going to try to make it up to him when we go to Strongsville. Now, speaking of Strongsville, that's where I met Mike in person for the first time, was in Strongsville last year. Now, there's going to be more videos of me talking about Strongsville, Ohio, but you just wait. I'm going to give you a list of right now all the YouTubers that do content that's going to be going to Strongsville. So maybe some of you guys can make arrangements to try to head there in the spring. But that's the videos coming up. But just a little peek. There's right now, I have confirmed at least 15 people that do content that's going to Strongsville. So I'm going to show you some cards that I sent off to SGC, and I got grades on. Now these cards, they have come by my own collection that I've had stored away for a long time, and that's what I'm doing this. That's what I'm going to be doing this winter. Is I'm going through that box, and I'm going to turn this around and show you. As I'm going through this box, I got 16 boxes that I've been going through of my own cards. And over here is a stack of cards that eventually will get sent to SGC. Now that's part of, all those cards are either part runs, player runs for me, or just various things. And some of it may be inventory. See, I set up card shows every once in a while. And my last card show, I didn't do very well. And so I decided to send some off so I could get me some inventory. So what I'm going to show you, every one of these cards came from one of my white boxes that I'm going to show you. Every one of them came from there. Some of them are going toward player runs that I have going on right now. And some of them are going to be going toward my inventory that I can sell those cards and buy more cards. Now, I kind of came to a crossroads in my thinking where, it doesn't make much sense to get a 77 Carlton Fisk graded if you're trying to make money on it if you don't think it's going to get a 5 or 6 or 7. You might as well go out and buy those cards. But I've had these cards for a long time, and they're my cards, and so I don't really have to go buy a card. Now all I have to do is pay for them to be graded. And I don't like all the paperwork of getting cards graded, so I have a friend, Billy Ballgame, who does the legwork for me and sends the cards off, and I compensate him. If you go watch his videos, he'll tell you about how I compensate him. What he'll do is he'll send my cards and write my cards off, and he'll send a few of his cards with mine to get graded, and I'll pay for those cards to be graded. And that time is worth something for me. So I really appreciate him doing this. And so right now I'm going to show you the cards that I am putting in my inventory so I can take to garage sales. So in the words of John Keating, to ado no further, let's look at some cards. So First one I'm going to show you that is going in my inventory is the Bo Jackson 9.5. Love this card. Hopefully someone else will too. Another one that these are all duplicate cards that I have. This is Kobe Bryant. It's not the chrome, it's just the paper. I have a bunch of Tony Gwynn's rookies, and I'm afraid I have another box that have these in it. So all these 7.5s are going to go in my inventory. I have the Tony Gwynn in my own PC in a 9 and a PSA 9. Whether that grade matters to me, it doesn't. So those Tony Gwynns will go in my inventory, and that'll make my cases look good at shows. Some other 83s that will go in my inventory. Ryan Sandberg rookie. A Wade Boggs rookie. Now, rookie cards, when I have them in my showcase, they sell pretty good. Even the lower grade ones sell pretty good and move pretty good. Cal Ripken rookie. Looks good. Some of these grades were a lot better than what I anticipated. Now, here's a George Brett mini. His rookie card. To go along with that, here's an authentic George Brett. Of course, George Brett sell and move pretty good in my area in Middle Missouri. And here's another George Brett. So to add this to my inventory, and it will make my cases look a lot fluffier and healthier than what they did at the last show. So now what I'm going to do is show you some cards that are going in my personal collection from these boxes as well. 72 Billy Martin. Like that card. I've had this card a long time. I just haven't had one encased. Now I'm working on a Rod Carew run, and I know that's a low grade, and the value of it being off center and that kind of stuff doesn't make sense to get it graded. But again, my thinking was I now don't have to go buy a Rod Carew. That's a high number card. It's not high on my list to have, but it fills a spot. When I look at the cards, that's going to be a beautiful card to look at. So getting closer to finishing my Al Kaline run, I think I'm down to just 2 cards for Al Kaline to finish that run. And I'm going to do a little story on Al Kaline once I finish the Kaline run. I think he has a neat story. So this card finishes my Harmon Killebrew run, and I believe this did not come out of my little white box. This came out of the basement collection of Dave Berg's father that Mike Baseball Collector purchased. Rod Carew. Love this set. I'm quite a distance away from getting Rod Carew filled. Now here's the Carlton Fisk that I previously talked about. Again, I'm not going to go to a show and spend good money on a higher grade Carlton Fisk when I had one sitting at the house that I could go ahead and get encapsulated. And the only reason I'm getting them encapsulated so it matches the rest of my cards in their runs. And I've done a story on why I grade my cards. Now the Carl Yastrzemski, I'm down to the 1968 Carl Yastrzemski and the 1970 Carl Yastrzemski, and then I'll be finished with his run. I don't know why I haven't finished that one already. Working on the Willie Stargell run. The next card, I don't know why I haven't had it graded in my collection, because I'm a true fan. I don't believe he's going to get in the Hall of Fame, and the longer he's out of the Hall of Fame, the more other people are passing him in the very important statistical categories. But Vada Pinson was an incredible baseball player, and that is his rookie card, and I'm glad to have it encased. So I'm working on a Larry Doby run, and this is a beautiful looking card. When in my younger days, Larry Doby was not high on my list. I don't know why. I don't know if it was because I really didn't know his story that well. But I'm going to finish that run sometime soon. Ralph Kiner. Very underrated player, I believe. Had a ton of power. So if you've been watching any of my stuff, pickups lately, I've been picking up some Wheaties. Well, this one happened to be in my box, and these are 1952 Wheaties. I like them. I think they look really, really different, and I like different at times. Another beautiful Ralph Kiner. It's a 1.5, but look at that card. Beautiful card. So like I said, I'm getting closer on my Larry Doby run. And 2 cards, these weren't part of my box either. I picked up a couple of these raw cards at the St. Louis show. Here's a 41 play ball Archie Vaughn. Here's a 1940 play ball. It's in a SGC 5, and it's very, very nice. So guys, that's what I plan on doing this winter. Instead of being active buying a lot of cards on eBay, now I might purchase a few, but I'm saving money for a bigger card, and I'm at the stage in my collecting that I can start going after bigger cards. But I want to save enough to pick up one at a show, and the shows might be going to the shows might be as special for me as picking up the cards itself, meeting different people. And so I'm going to continue to go through my boxes, and I'm going to continue to pay Billy to get my cards encapsulated and add to my runs, and I'm going to have fun doing that. So soon, I'm going to do a video talking about the Strongsville, who's all going to Strongsville show. I have a video coming up that I'm going to do a new tour of my card room with some different designs. And guys, again, I'm having a blast. I hope you guys are too. I really appreciate you watching my stuff. And guys, remember, it's just a hobby. Keep collecting. Let me rephrase that. It's just a hobby. Collect what you like.